So I was literally downstairs making this, coffee, and some food, and then I literally was just on the internet, as you do, in between Twitter and whatnot, and the Snyder Cut trailer dropped early. I'm guessing this is because I heard about something to do with it leaking. So what I'm going to do is my breakdown. Of course, I'm absolutely buzzing to see this. I'm in the hype mode. I'm going to react to it. But if you want to skip to the breakdown of the trailer, of course, skip to that. But if you want to enjoy watching this with me for the first time, providing it's in the video, here we go.
The bell's been rung.
Son of Krypton.
Out in the dark, among the stars.
How have I got chills already? Weird.
The god is dead.
I had a dream. Almost like a premonition. I think there's an attack coming.
My lord,
Wow.
this world will fall.
I need warriors. I'm building an alliance to defend ourselves.
How do you know your team's strong enough? If you can't bring down the charging bull, then don't wave the red cape at it.
You were sent here for a reason. And even if it takes you the rest of your life, find out what that reason is.
They said the age of heroes would never come again.
Oh, it's such a badass shot of Superman.
It has to.
We live in a society where honor is a distant memory. Isn't that right, Batman?
What? Oh, I need to rewind that last bit again.
We live in a society where honor is a distant memory. Isn't that right, Batman?
The society line made me laugh at first, but what I found more compelling about that is Jared Leto's different voice. It's not the hunger kind of thing. It's more weird, you know. Jeez, I've got a lot to absorb right there. But that was, you know, one thing I will say about that trailer straight away, people, is the obvious organization that went into that movie. The curated aspects of everything. I shouldn't need to explain that because you understand why this movie is getting made in the first place. It needed to literally give us what was meant to happen, and that was like a reel of everything that was meant to happen the way it should have always happened. And it was awesome. So I just went through the trailer a few more times to refresh my memory and of stuff to talk about. That was so good. Nothing has changed. It is just got cooler to me, in all honesty. I don't want to sound like I'm kind of fanboying out or overhyping it. It was just really good. And one thing that I'm very happy with is me getting chills, seriously, up my back and on my shoulders and my arms multiple times when seeing this for the first time. And then afterwards in my rewatches, that's something special to a superhero fan. It really is. Especially one, and I'm sure you can identify with this, who got turned off a little bit by with the theatrical version from there on out. But everybody, the breakdown part. Let's talk about this. So it starts off with Clark, as we know, and from what we've seen, setting the stage for the film. After the events of Batman vs. Superman, hearing those eerie, haunting lines from Lex, and among that, we get the fallout of Superman's scream. Like, what a way to begin that trailer. It was just haunting. absolutely haunting, and honestly just incredible seeing it. Like, as Lex says, the god is dead, and so with him, his cry can be heard everywhere, and that kind of just like fallout, almost like from a nuclear bomb, or Superman's scream. Honestly, I'm getting chills on my neck right now thinking of it. Just so cinematic, and it's just epic. Like, I don't use that word a lot because it kind of got drowned a few years ago, but epic. And then, ladies and gentlemen, that is when we get the tease. The tease of Bruce saying, I had a dream, almost like a premonition. And of course, this is of the nightmare sequence. Now, this is, of course, the dark side future nightmare state. And it's accompanied by the tellings of the past, with Wonder Woman looking into it as well, from what we see in the trailer. Stuff that we've kind of seen before, but seeing it in motion is just absolutely fantastic. You know, depicting the past of Darkseid, and Wonder Woman just really taking in like, oh crap. Now, I'm looking at it again. This shot of Darkseid in front of all of his subjects is just something to behold. What this is one thing I think that Snyder has really nailed down is the visuals. There's so many gorgeous shots in this trailer, but this is really such a treat, because here we really see him in the Darkseid persona, not the like Uxas version that we saw before. He's like slamming down his weapon in the old flashbacks, if you will. But this is just, as I keep saying, a treat. I can't resist but fanboy out here. It's just really seeing the DCEUs, what could have been their pinnacle of the dark big bad people. Like, you know how they, obviously I shouldn't have to explain this really, but just for the sake of it, we had the MCU with Thanos and the other ringleaders. This is what we get to see at the peak of the DCEU, and we are getting it. And now we see it in a trailer. It just feels like, oh my god, here we are. Like, there he is. There, right there. Now, we do see Steppenwolf here communicating with the kind of, I suppose, DC intergalactic version of holograms. It's like the metallic holograms. Remember when Lex was communicating with Steppenwolf? He was all like, you know, sharded up or whatever. Same here with Uxas. At the same time, though, I do want to acknowledge that this might not be Darkseid himself. It could be one of his ringleaders, like the Sard. It's kind of hard when you just have a metallic hologram like this. Let me know if you think it's one of his right-hand men or ladies, so to speak. But for all intents and purposes, I can't wait to, you know, see the briefing in this scene, because this is like the ultra evil briefing, I like to say. And as we hear him say to his lord, this world will fall, as we even see the shard armor of Steppenwolf's kind of being peeled off. Interestingly, it's like coming off. Obviously, it's kind of like almost nanotechy in a way. It just comes off him. I don't know why he's getting kind of undressed in that moment. But either way, let's move on. And obviously with Steppenwolf saying, you know, this world will fall, we see a montage of clips with Amazons reacting to that, everyone kind of reacting to that. And along with that, of course, we have Bruce Wayne, Batman recruiting, saying that he needs warriors. And in this scene, it's so much more serious here. I know that sounds too premature to almost say compared to the Justice League cut, but this scene is a lot more serious that when he goes to meet Arthur. And I can't wait to see the differences in that scene and many more with what we're going to get in the Snyder Cut compared to what the version was in the reshoots we saw for the Justice League. Up next in the trailer, we see Aquaman Underwater actually stopping Steppenwolf's weapon, but we also see later on in the trailer, which we compare with this moment, another underwater scene with Steppenwolf as he's kind of reaching out for the mother box. Once again, as I'm going through this with all this talk, if you will, of an alliance needed amongst these clips of showcasing the Justice League members, I just love how I'm a bit of I feel like a nerd for like trailers and how they're depicted, because trailers can be whack or they can be really good in setting up hype, especially with music. Music is so important and integral to not only films, like just imagine taking away sound from things, they would seem a lot more sillier. It's just like, it's so good here, and I love all the collaboration and montage of different cool moments of the Justice League members that we're seeing at this part in the trailer. But then I also love that line from Alfred, or should I say question, where he says, how do you know you'll be strong enough? If you can't bring down the charging bull, then don't wave the red cape at all. Like, what a line. And I love Jeremy Irons' Alfred. I really do wish we kind of saw more of him, but that's kind of treading into the territory of like the what ifs of the DCEU that we could have got in Batman films, and more Alfred and more Ben Affleck or whatever. But never say never, right? But yeah, I've loved him since Aragon when I was a kid, and yes, I know Aragon, but he was cool in it. Jeremy Irons was cool. Seeing him be Alfred, he definitely does personify the role very well. In moments like this, as such a big Bat fan, hearing him say, you know, if you can't take down the charging bull, then don't wave the red. It just makes me think of all the other lines he may have had like that about certain villains in Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne's past, because this is a veteran Batman. Could you imagine those dramatic moments and scenes that we will never know about from the history that those two have shared in the Batcave? It makes me wonder. Up next, we see a picture of Jonathan Kent fall and dip into the waters, if you will, as Clark is being dropped into it for the kind of resurrection part of the movie. And also, I'm pretty sure this moment on screen is that moment of where Cyborg is truly learning about all of his capabilities. We've seen it in various other clips. You can kind of link them together where he kind of sees all those nukes coming or whatever, and he can stop them just like that. I feel like there's going to be a proper kind of like, holy crap, you know, moment of the superhero in Cyborg in the movie, because obviously he's such an integral part of this film. We of course get the clips of Barry saving Iris West, stuff we've seen before as well, on top of Barry seeing his father Henry Allen, and it also seems that we get an extended look at that scene of the Speed Force opening up, and it's just, wow, those visuals. Oh, is it gorgeous? It's like a whole new cosmos and universe opening up, as it is when he's entering the Speed Force. And I was really thrilled by the stepping stone effects of what we've got teased in the previous Snyder Cut trailers. But this, it's like, oh, it's like branching out the freaking Norse mythology world tree looking kind of thing. And my God, can we talk about Batman? Yet again, the cinematic visuals. Okay, I'll shut up. But seriously, Batman on top of the Dark Knight Returns, freaking War Machine, like, holy crap. I can't almost compute this information anymore. This may be cringy to some of you, but I can't. Look at it! Look at it! This is obviously such an homage to The Dark Knight Returns. If you know, you know. I'm sure you're seeing something on screen right now, but seriously, Zack is he's pulling out all the aces up his sleeves. And this isn't even all of them. As I said, I'll talk about what else they could have shown in the trailer and what we're still yet to see, of course. But yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that. I found this scene very, very interesting because obviously this is where Cyborg is interacting with the Mother Box, but we can also see Barry, the Flash himself, using his kind of Speed Force lightning to almost like assist from behind. We do see some kind of lightning on the box itself. I don't know if that's attributed to his lightning or if that's just a situation of the Mother Box being engaged with Cyborg, but we evidently see Barry kind of like sending and supercharging something up from behind, so I can't wait to see that unfold, especially the dynamic between Ezra's Barry and Cyborg here. And of course, guys, the black suit Superman moment. You've probably all seen this before because, yeah, we got kind of mini trailers for the announcement trailer before this where we had this featured, and oh my God, the suit looks so good. Like, I'm not even just talking about this scene here where we see Superman taking flight in the black suit, which I'm sure is going to be a very epic moment. I'm hoping for some real Man of Steel score vibes there. But especially the one where he slaps down hard, his hair kind of flickers, and he supercharges his heat vision up. Yeah, okay, I can't stop fanboying. And of course, we need to talk about that after trailer credits scene, if you will, of Jared Leto's Joker, because, you know, we've all got our opinions, we've all got our preferences. I broke this down in the official look reveal. It's very interesting to hear your thoughts. Just to preface it, for those who are new to the channel, I said it's obviously a much needed upgrade from Suicide Squad, but it's still not my preference. Like, you know, you may love it, fair enough, I dig it, but I'm still not massive on it, but it's still, whatever, right? But I'm more than happy that Jared Leto's getting more scenes, even if it is a premonition, whatever, right? But we hear him say, we live in a society. I like that kind of reference there. It did make me laugh when I first saw it, even though I was in awe of what I was seeing. It's like, we live in a society. Of course Joker's gonna say that. But anyway, we live in a society where honor is a distant memory. Isn't that right, Batman? I can't really still tell because there was lots of debate about this with his look. Is that smeared lipstick or is that blood? I'm still in between on that. It's not a massive detail anyway. I'm not saying what it is either way. Doesn't really matter. I think his look, especially in color here, looks really interesting. It's what I expected it to. He's still got the green hair. He's got the white makeup, very red lips. Even if it is smeared this or that, it's still slightly reminiscent in the shape of a smile. The voice isn't, as I said, exactly hunker and what he had in Suicide Squad, but it's still, I feel like it needs to be perfected a bit, at least in my critique here personally, in my opinion, he just adds a bit of like onto it, too much almost. But I'm not gonna knock that. I don't think it's necessarily bad or anything. I need to see more lines from him, but I still found that whole line really pleasantly surprising. Yes, pleasantly surprising, because I'm only talking about the Batman bit that he left off with that kind of gruff that he added to it, almost over exaggerated gruff. But the line before that, I was pleasantly surprised because he sounded so different, and it obviously is different because this is a nightmare future. But yeah, I'm just happy that he evidently does still sound different to Suicide Squad. Not that that even came across in his lines in Suicide Squad. Very interestingly as well, this isn't the scene that I was speaking about in my breakdown video last week where he talks to Batman about Batman. There's much inferred in teasers from Zack Snyder himself with references to the past about Dick Grayson being the Robin who died, which I got mixed up in my video last week, which people kept reminding me about. I know, I deserve it. I mixed it up with Jason, but I didn't mean to. I know it's Dick. But this was just one tease. Like, we still got that scene in the room where they have a conversation. This seems to be about something else, as if they were getting prepped up to do something, and they're looking at the state of what Darkseid has done. Interestingly as well, we see Victor/Cyborg behind Batman in that shot. It's just going to be interesting to see what Victor's response is to the Joker. But yeah, super interesting seeing the Joker, long hair and a SWAT jacket, bulletproof vest, leaning against a car, and Batman's just like, you're right, mate. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Especially with the history given between these two. Batman must be desperate, and obviously so in the nightmare sequence, in this alternate reality vision of what could happen, to trust this man. I mean, look at him. Look at him. Very, very, very interesting stuff. I don't really have too much to say apart from some blabber there, just because there's not too much to break down. It's anyone's guess, really. But super interesting stuff, and what I'm looking forward to, and what I thought we would have got teased, which is what I'm moving on to now, is the discussion that I was just mentioning between them in these two photos that you're seeing on screen right now. We still have that to look forward to, so it looks like we're still getting quite a bit of Jared Leto, maybe more than what you may have thought initially. But other than that, I really thought that Zack may have put the Martian Manhunter reveal in the trailer, but I'm guessing either he's saving that to the trailer coming out a few days before the actual release, or maybe he's just saving it for the movie, right? Because why reveal that in the trailer that's coming out before the movie or shortly before the movie when you could just save it for the movie itself? I thought we'd get a bit more Speed Force stuff, but by the way, this isn't me complaining. I love the teases. I rather have it teased like this. Not too much, but giving us some amazing new glimpses at some other things, some similar things to what we've seen before, but maybe different angles and context of the scene, and then some new stuff like the Jared Leto with what we already know, but an alternative version to what we knew from the hallway. But overall, guys, you can tell that I'm very happy with this. This does indeed make me hyped. I feel like it looks like a completely different movie. I can't stop looking at it, even though I'm meant to be looking at the camera. I may have missed one or two things out in this post-immediate reaction and breakdown, if you will, but I think that's the gist of it. Like, we already know the premise of this movie through the original version, obviously, even though it was god-awful. But that's not negating that we're not going to get so much new stuff. So obviously, 4 hours long, people, 4 hours long. But this still looks like a whole new movie with questions that we still have now and new questions that we don't have answers to, even though there's an existing movie out there. That's what I love about this. Zack's really bringing it home with all of this new intriguing stuff. I think no matter what, fans are going to enjoy this a lot more than the first one. That should go without saying. But of course, the question is this going to be overhyped? Is it just going to be like a decent Zack Snyder movie, or is it going to go above and beyond even the expectations that it's going to be amazing? I don't know about that. I'm putting my expectations just to be like, oh, I'm going to enjoy it, but I want to be pleasantly, well, I don't want to say surprised, but like really taken back by if it's absolutely astonishing. Because 4 hours is a long time. That leaves a lot of gaps for interesting things to happen. And yeah, I'm rambling at this point, so let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, everybody. Like this video if you did enjoy it. If you're feeling the hype and you enjoyed experiencing this with me almost. Let me know if you also have any theories on the stuff that we saw in the trailer. Other than that, I have a pinned comment in the comments section where you can follow me on Twitter, where I post all kind of things. I'm very up to date there. And Patreon if you want to follow me a little bit more. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. And I'll see you members of the Justice League in the next video. Goodbye.